Quarter Racing Update, Remington Park. Powered by Oklahoma Quarter Horse Racing Association. Here's Dale Day.
Hello everyone. The field has been set for the $1 million Heritage Place Futurity. On today's show, we'll begin our series of previews leading up to the Grade 1 race to be run on May 31st. Of course, that race features 2-year-old runners, but last Sunday's older horses were on stage in the Grade 2 Oklahoma Challenge. That race tops our highlights recap.
The Mariel Remington Park Distaff Challenge, a 400-yard event for older fillies and mares, the 10-horse Entrap was the fastest qualifier from trials on April 26th. She ran third in last year's Lone Star Distaff Challenge. Number 9, Shanna Key, turned in the second fastest time to qualify and was the Co's second favorite. She ran third in this race last year before scoring in a stakes race at Los Alamitos.
Now Shanna Key gets rolling outside, looming a threat. Down inside, Fate Can't Wait. Still there to the far outside is Entrap. It's Shanna Key on top by nose. Ayana not going away. Shanna Key reaches down for more and finds it. Shanna Key in the Mariel Distaff.
With Omar Reyes in the saddle, Shanna Key takes the Distaff Challenge over Ayana. Entrap followed in third. With an official 20-mile-per-hour headwind, Shanna Key completed the 400 yards in 20.193 seconds. Owned by J. Garvin Kelly, Shanna Key was bred in Oklahoma by Kelly's Aura Equine Nursery. She's a daughter of Country Chick's Man and the Corona Cartel mare Court Etiquette. Juan Alleman trains the 2014 victress of the Mariel Remington Park Distaff Challenge, Shanna Key. On to the Grade 3 Red Cell Remington Park Distance Challenge at 870 yards for older horses that qualified from trials on April 26th. A 2-length winner while setting the fastest qualifying time was number 4, Mixed Fantasy, who was installed as the favorite in Sunday's final. A 2-time stakes winner, Mixed Fantasy, had G.R. Carter in the saddle. The 3-horse Wahoo was another with 2 added money events under his belt, including the 870-yard Pauls Valley on April 6th. Russell Hadley handled the reins in the Red Cell Remington Distance Challenge.
Mixed Fantasy has the lead midway through the turn by a length over Wahoo, who's at the rail saving ground, trying to hold the turn. SRD Bob Wire Bob floating out just enough to let Call Her Hero scoot through and take third as they pass the quarter pole. Top of the stretch in the Red Cell Remington Park Distance Challenge. Mixed Fantasy there by a length and a half. Wahoo now being asked at the rail second and gaining ground. Call Her Hero, SRD Bob Wire Bob to Passamoki is fifth. In the final furlong, Mixed Fantasy trying to hold off Wahoo, who continues to make up ground at the rail, and Wahoo scoots through to the inside. Wahoo takes the Red Cell.
Bobby Cox's homebred Wahoo takes the Distance Challenge over Mixed Fantasy and Call Her Hero. Russell Hadley, the winning jockey. Wahoo is a Texas-bred son of feature Mr. Jess and first to celebrate by First Down Dash. The gelding is trained by John Buchanan. Wahoo stopped the timer at 45.299 seconds, good for a 96-speed index. Now, the Grade 2 Bank of America Oklahoma Championship Challenge at 440 yards. Trials on April 26th determined the field of 10 older runners. Fastest amongst them was the 1-horse River Wind, the public's choice in the final. River Wind was ridden by Benito Baca. The second fastest qualifier and second in the wagering was number 4, BF Farm Boy. A 3-time stakes winner, BF Farm Boy was ridden by Stormy Smith. Breaking from the 9-hole was All Out Arrogant, who scored last year in 2 stakes races at Los Alamitos. Dismissed as an 18-1 long shot, All Out Arrogant was ridden by Raul Valenzuela in the feature event on Mother's Day.
They're off. The Bank of America Oklahoma Championship. Riverwind with a great start right there with separate CARTEL inside. They battle early on here in this 440 event. Now the Magic Dash gets into it, moves up third, and coming along on the outside is All Out Arrogant. The Magic Dash nose to nose with All Out Arrogant. All Out Arrogant trying to get by. The Magic Dash still there. Inside fighting on. Riverwind and separate CARTEL. All Out Arrogant looks for a little bit and gets there by a bobbing.
In an upset, Randall D's All Out Arrogant takes the Oklahoma Challenge over Riverwind and separate CARTEL. Raul Valenzuela was aboard for the victory. Trained by Cody Joyner, the winner is by FDD Dynasty out of Oh So Arrogant by Chicks Beduino, bred in California by Dean and Daryl Fry. Final time for the 440 yards against a stout headwind, 22.152 seconds. According to his owner, the further from the rail, the better for All Out Arrogant.
He likes that outside post, usually second to last. So even on the outside, for some reason, he just loves the 8, the 9, the 10 hole. We won in the inside, but it's like the guys at Los Al say, he either breaks your heart or he goes really good. And today he went really good, and we're hoping that we can go to Prairie Meadows and maybe win the championship. We're going to try.
Winner of the 2014 edition of the Oklahoma Challenge, All Out Arrogant.
The biggest race of Remington Park's quarter horse season is the Grade 1 Heritage Place Futurity. On Friday and Saturday, trials for the $1 million event were run, with the 5 fastest from each night qualifying for the May 31st final. Let's begin our series of previews for the Futurity with a look at the trials that produced the 10 qualifiers.
A rare occurrence in that all finalists for the Heritage Place Futurity won their time trials, and all but one had winning margins of 1 length or more. Let's start with the exception. On the first day of trials, May 9th, the gray horse on the outside, number 9, not available in stores, with Jimmy Brooks aboard, finishes strong to catch the 7 at the wire and win by a nose. This was not available in stores' career debut. The gelding's time of 17.622 seconds was the 5th fastest of the day, which secured his spot in the $1 million final. In this trial, number 2, Painted Summer, leads all the way to win by a length in a time of 17.609. Cody Smith has ridden the filly in her 2 lifetime outings. The first was a 4th place finish in early April. Also a 2-time starter, BV Traveling Soldier, made it 2 for 2 in his Heritage Place Futurity trial. Russell Hadley was in the irons for the Colts 2-length tally. BV Traveling Soldier stopped the timer at 17.499 seconds, 3rd fastest time of the day. The 2nd fastest was turned in by I'm a Fancy PYC. In this trial, 17.476 seconds. A 4-time winner from as many starts, I'm a Fancy PYC prevailed in the $791,000 Grade 3 Remington Park Futurity on April 19th. Randy Wilson has ridden the colt in all of his races. The top qualifier on May 9th came from this trial, Love the Way You Lie. With last year's AQHA champion jockey Cody Jensen handling the reins, the filly completed the 350 yards in 17.442 seconds. Love the Way You Lie ran second in the Sam Houston Juvenile on April 19th. She now has a record of 1-1-1 from 3 starts. On to the Heritage Place Futurity trials run on Saturday, May 10th. Another stakes winner from earlier in the RP meeting, Paint Me Perry, ran off with this one in a time of 17.918, 5th fastest time of the day. The Grade 2 Oklahoma Futurity winner had regular rider Paul Nieto aboard. The colt now has 3 wins from 3 starts. Jackson's First Wagon took this trial with a 2.5 length winning margin, while posting the 4th fastest time of the day, 17.880 seconds. Omar Reyes rode the colt, whose record is now 1 win and 1 second from 2 starts. Remington Park Juvenile winner Count de Monet stopped the clock at 17.804. third fastest of the May 10th qualifiers. His regular rider Russell Hadley was in the irons for the one-length victory, which was his third outing. He began his career with a second-place finish in his RP Futurity trial. Racy Casanova was the second fastest qualifier of the day after turning in a time of 17.778 seconds. The Colt's nearest competitor was a length and 3/4 behind him at the wire. This was Racy Casanova's first start. Cody Smith had the ride. The fastest qualifier for the Grade 2 Oklahoma Futurity in March was Apolitical Pack. Now the filly shares that title for the Heritage Place Futurity as she ran the fastest of all in the second set of trials on May 10th, 17.691 seconds. Her 2 3/4 length winning margin was the largest of any finalist. Cody Jensen was in the saddle. A strong field of contenders in the Grade 1 finale of the Remington Park Quarter Horse meeting. And we'll continue to preview the $1 million Grade 1 Heritage Place Futurity over the next 2 weeks. Now, back to Dale Day.
Let's put a cap on this edition of the Quarter Racing Update. Come back next week when we preview the May 25th Oklahoma Speedfest card. And we'll continue to look ahead to the $1 million Heritage Place Futurity. For the entire staff and crew here at RaceView Network, I'm Dale Day. See you next time.